Yo! Welcome back to another edition of the Cruising Podcast. I feel like I haven't done this in a minute, but it's been like since Wednesday, right? Yeah, it's been about Wednesday. All right, welcome back to another edition of the Cruising Podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Cruz, and where you can normally find the Cruising Podcast is on YouTube, also on Twitch, also where you can find latest updates of the Cruising Podcast is on is on. Did I say that right? Hopefully it did. Is on Instagram at Cruising Podcast, also at Twitter, which is Nicetown Finest. Want to get right into it real quick. Gonna get right into this motherfucking juicy ass shit right now. All right, so last night we had a UFC fight between Conor McGregor and Cowboy Cerrone. This is the only fight that I'm going to talk about on this card because for real, the main card was what? Nothing but submissions until we got to Raquel Pennington and Holly Holm, and then that was a 3-round snooze fest. But we got 40 seconds, 40 seconds of Conor McGregor dominating Cowboy Cerrone. And I mean dominating Cowboy Cerrone. We saw, to me, I saw a lot more in that 40 seconds than, most Conor McGregor, than the fight with him and Khabib. Like, more positive, way more positive in 40 seconds for Conor McGregor than the Khabib fight. I think that Conor showed us that he still has it. He can still knock out people, and he's also adaptive. What we got to see was that when he missed the first punch and the grappling started happening, that he's going to use any part of his body to beat the shit out of the person across from him, which we saw when he literally shoulder striked that Cowboy 5 times in a row, and the second hit was the one that broke his fucking nose. And then he finishes off Cowboy with a left foot head kick, left foot head kick. So what we saw was Conor straight up focused for a fight, no shit talking, massive respect for the guy across from him. And we saw Conor McGregor literally look like at his best at 170. But I'm going to put this in consideration. I want to put this out there. Do not overthink this shit. He still will have to fight Colby Covington, Jorge Masvidal, Kamaru Usman, Tyron Woodley. There is a murderer's row in welterweight. And he needs to fight at least 2 of them before he even fights Usman. The big money fight is him and Masvidal. We all know this. We all understand this. The big money fight will be between him and Masvidal, not Nate Diaz. I think Nate Diaz, the third fight might be a problem, especially if they fight at 170. I think, and we saw exactly what we thought we were going to see. We're going to see Cowboy probably have a slow start, and if he doesn't get out of the first or second round, Cowboy's not normally a great first and second round fighter. We know this. We all know this. We've been watching, UFC for a long time, but he's not a quick starter. He normally has to get into a flow of fight. It's kind of hard to get in a flow of fight when the first thing that happens to you break your fucking nose. And Conor literally runs out and tries to hit him with a right hook. To start the fight, he runs out and tries to hit him. No touch of the gloves, no nothing. Conor runs in and try to hit him. That's what I saw in the fight. I saw the potential of Conor McGregor being more calm, more compact, not talking as much shit, and humble. We've seen a humble Conor McGregor, and it didn't change his style up. He's still not at his best. He hasn't fought in like a year. He got suspended. But what we saw was the potential that we've been seeing throughout these past couple years of him, when he is talking shit, he did back it up. But when he's humble, he can pull this shit off. He's adaptive. He can do all of this in a 40-second time span. Now, would you do Khabib and him again? I don't know yet. I don't know. I want to see what happens between Khabib and Tony first. But I think if any of those guys drop out of that fight, Conor's the next one up for that fight. I think that's the deal. I think that's where it really. They said that he has really 4 fights this year, and I think him versus Masvidal had to be one of them. Him versus Khabib possibly one of them, and him versus Nate Diaz is a possibility too. I think Usman's way too big for him. I think Usman is maybe on par wrestler with Khabib, and he's a lot bigger than Khabib. But I truly think that people need to kind of pump the fucking brakes on the Usman fight for a little bit. You know, yeah, he beat Cowboy Cerrone, but Cowboy's been, you know, he just lost to fucking he just lost his last couple fights. So let's pump the brakes, all right? You know, it's middle of the pack at best, Cowboy Cerrone. That's who he fought. So let's pump the brakes on, you know, Conor should be getting a title shot right here. No, fuck that. No, he needs to go through the murderer's row that Tyron Woodley will have to go through. Colby Covington's probably going to have to go through. Jorge Masvidal has gone through. He has to do that before we talk about him in the title contention whatsoever. Let's pump the brakes a little bit. I know everybody's kind of hyped. We saw him win in 40 seconds. Oh my God, Conor's back. Yay! Let's calm down. Let's slow our roll a little bit. He fought a great fight, 40 seconds of greatness. That was great. But let's not forget who he fought and at what stage of his career that he fought him. Let's pump our brakes a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Before you fight the fucking Nigerian Nightmare. All right? Let's slow our roll. But here's what I had a problem with last night, and which also I had a problem with this weekend, which will lead into my next subject too. Here's what I had a problem with last night, is that after the fights, we see Michael Eaves, Joe Rogan, and Stephen A. Smith. One of them does not belong. Well, 2 of them doesn't belong, for real. But one of them really doesn't belong. Can you guess which one? Stephen A. Smith? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, person that just said that. Stephen A. Smith. He doesn't belong there. He doesn't belong talking to an MMA expert in Joe Rogan, who's been doing this since I was a kid, who's been a commentator since I was in like high school. No, probably middle school. He's been being the commentator for that long. Almost 20 years. He has almost 20 years of experience in watching these fights. He's watched thousands of UFC fights. And then live, by the way. He watched them live, by the way. Thousands of UFC fights live. He's also probably watched tens of thousands outside of the ring and probably on the video and shit like that. He talks about this in his podcast. Stephen A. Smith was talking, and it seemed like he was trying to the thing it seemed like he tried to do was kind of like take over the conversation like he does on First Take. And I don't think he understands the environment that he's in. The environment that you're in is an MMA environment. You're talking to literally somebody with way more years than you in experience in watching these fights, and also has experience fighting in Joe Rogan. And you're going to sit here and try to have an argument with him about what we saw from Conor McGregor? What? You can't see the same shit Joe was seeing. You can't. There's no way. You don't have the years. You don't have the experience. You don't have the hours upon hours of watching, hundreds and thousands of hours of watching fights. You haven't been, the ESPN hasn't been with UFC long enough for you to have Stephen A. Smith up here talking about, well, we didn't see anything. We haven't seen anything yet. He didn't really do it. What the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? And you can see it in the face of Joe Rogan. Like when Joe Rogan says something, then Stephen A. Smith says something, and then Joe comes back with a rebuttal, and then you just hear Stephen A. trying to get a little bit louder, and Joe's like, this fucking guy? For real? Y'all think this? Oh, you think this is First Take? Oh, you thought this was First Take? No, this isn't First Take. I'm not Max Kellerman. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. This is my realm. This is what I've been doing for over almost 20 years. I've been doing this. I've watched thousands of this. This is the first time I've even seen you here. Who the fuck are you to tell me what nobody, if you didn't see anything from Conor McGregor from this fight, from a fucking win, then what the fuck are we doing here? Why are you here? Have Michael Eaves sit here try to ask me questions so I can fucking answer. Because you're an ESPN personality does not mean that you know everything about MMA, about every sport. Some sports you just don't know dick about. Joe Rogan knows a lot more. Maybe not everything. Maybe not. Nobody knows everything. If it was a conversation more, because I would have had more insight. Stephen A. Smith didn't give us no insight. There was no fucking insight. And Joe Rogan seen that shit. He was like, he's not really, what is he talking about? What? 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 What are you talking about? You don't know what the hell happened then. Then you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Maybe stick with basketball, stick with First Take, stick with the black issues, all the rest of this shit. Stick with race issues, all that. You do all that shit over there. Don't bring that shit into my realm because you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You're new to this. ESPN, y'all babies in this. Joe Rogan is a grown-ass man in this fucking business. Especially with knowledge. You should probably just sit back and shut the fuck up and listen. Just saying. Just saying. Next time you want to do an ESPN personality, make sure they know what the fuck they're talking about with MMA. Especially their cage side. That's bullshit. That's bullshit, ESPN. That's bullshit. You can't sit here and try to tell me I need to watch Stephen A. Smith every fucking time there's a major event happening. He didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. He was just there. And he just talked. Oh, well, I didn't really see anything from Conor McGregor in this fight. Well, you can actually see a lot, especially in 40 seconds. I saw a lot. You know, he was adaptive. You know, he came in. He was ready to, you know, he did what Conor normally fucking does, is that he's a quick starter. That's what Conor does. When Conor's at his best, he's finishing the fight within the first couple minutes of the fight. That's what he did. He was adaptive. All right. Cowboy Cerrone had him in grappling mode. So Conor said, all right, let me try to not break away, but I'm going to use another part of my body that he's not going to be expecting me to use, aka my shoulder. Shoulder strikes to the fucking nose. The second one broke his shit. And then he's not ready for me to throw a left. And the replay is going to block his body, and Conor changes the level of his foot to his face. What the fuck don't you see there? What is there not to see? There's a lot to see there. So Stephen A. Smith being a part of the ESPN MMA broadcast is bullshit. They should never do this again. They should never do that again. Make sure you have either Chael Sonnen talking with Joe Rogan. You got all these other MMA guys that's been in the ring, that's been in that war situation. Not well, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say war. Been in that type of battle. Have one of those guys be in that realm with Joe Rogan. Not Stephen A. Smith, who doesn't add shit to the conversation. Speaking of, going to my next fucking subject, and speaking of this, there's a lot of shit going on with the cheating scandal of the Houston Astros. We've seen this a lot, and there's a lot of people that are fucking cheating motherfuckers. We're going to make sure we'll put that out there. Listen, and I want to make sure you motherfuckers listen to this closely. If you're a Yankees fan, Red Sox fan, or like any other names that have been brought up in allegations of cheating, especially with the sign stealing shit. I'm just going to stick with the sign stealing shit for right now. Especially if you had people that were under the Astros organization on your staff, Red Sox and Yankees fans. If you've had people on that staff from the Houston staff, that means AJ Hinch, Carlos Beltran, and also Alex Cora. You should probably sit down in the corner and shut the fuck up. You're not bringing facts to a conversation, then we have nothing to talk about. I've ran into this issue this weekend where I'm talking to someone, having a discussion with them back and forth. We're giving out facts about this cheating scandal, about the Yes Network instant replay, because, you know, the Yankees were fined for that situation. They were fined for that. The Red Sox, I think they were fined for the Apple Watch situation. Yes, it was the Apple Watch situation. When somebody brings you sources, brings you facts, and brings you evidence, of the fucking cheating, you should probably shut the fuck up and try to maybe listen a little bit and not try to crack jokes. And like, look, me and somebody else is having a grown man conversation on a social media site that I won't speak of, but you know, it's a body part and something that you read. But if me and somebody else are having a conversation, which is understandable. I know people can jump into conversations, especially during comments and shit like that. Understandable. I'm fine with you jumping into the conversation if you are bringing something to the fucking table. If you're not bringing anything to the table, shut the fuck up. The childish shit. We are grown ass men now. And I'm talking about men. I'm talking about everyone. We are grown ass adults. We are grown-ups. Some of us have started families. Some of us has done this and that and the third with their life. But if you don't bring anything to the table, and the only thing you're trying to bring to the table is trying to joke around and try to say some stupid shit like you're a butthurt or whatever, you're a misguided Phillies fan. Listen. And I'm gonna make sure hopefully you listen to this shit and you watch it. I hope you get pissed off because I don't give a fuck. I want to make sure you understand one thing. If you're not bringing shit to the table and that childish shit comes out of your fucking mouth, maybe you should look in the mirror and maybe understand that maybe you shouldn't be talking about shit you don't know about. Maybe you should sit back, listen, or go learn some shit about the situation so you can come back with a grown man response. If you don't have anything else to say about the situation at hand, shut the fuck up. Shut up. It's annoying. It is annoying as shit. It's annoying when you can sit here and talk to people. Have a grown conversation with somebody. We're not joking around. We're not saying jokes. We're spitting facts back and forth. We're throwing out sources back and forth. But you're over here, oh, well, he's just a salty this. He's a salty that. No, no, you're the childish one. You are the childish one. Step the fuck out of the conversation and fucking figure out what we're talking about. And then maybe you can step back in and we can talk about it. This is why I block motherfuckers. Because that shit is old now. We are too old for that shit. Somebody just jump into a conversation and tell jokes? Nigga, there's a place for that. This is not a jokey joke conversation. Okay? Also, the Yankees were caught in 2017. So one of those World Series titles that y'all are crying about, that you think that the Yankees would have won, shut up. They wouldn't have won 2017 because they didn't cheat right. Sorry. You should have cheated better than the fucking Astros. Your fault, not theirs. Y'all should have cheated better. 2019, you had Carlos Beltran in your fucking staff. Why is Carlos Beltran being fired from the fucking Mets? Hey, Yankees fans, you have had some of the biggest steroid scandals in the history of the fucking sport. Y'all have had the biggest steroid HGH scandals in the sport. You need to look in the fucking mirror and understand that. Y'all need to look in the mirror and understand that you shouldn't throw stones at glass fucking houses. Oh man, we should have won 2017 and 19. No, you shouldn't have. You want to know why? Because y'all weren't good enough. You didn't win. Sorry. That's life. Phillies didn't win either. Astros didn't win 2019. They weren't good enough. They couldn't win at home for 2 games. They weren't good enough. Nationals won. They took advantage of a situation and won. Sorry. That's life. Maybe the Nats cheated better. I don't know. But for y'all that can't be grown-ups about situations, especially certain conversations, step the fuck out, man. Keep it moving. Why are you in this? This ain't between me and you. This is between me and that person then. And then you go back and you say, well, since he's on my side and those facts mean they are my facts and blah, blah, blah. What does that mean? He's on your side? What is this? The fucking yard? How old are we? You need somebody you need to be on his side. So when I'm having a conversation and there's a side to the conversation and What? Yeah, good job. Good job. Yeah. Yeah, fuck you. You're just a hater. You're just a hater. What? Who are you? Hold on. Just like Conor McGregor said, who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck? So, and if another grown man ever asked me to apologize for anything, you can kiss my fucking ass and suck my dick. That's how I feel about it. Don't you ever tell me to apologize for shit, because that's where we're at with that. You can suck my fucking dick on that part. I don't give a fuck. Don't ever fucking tell me to apologize for shit. I'm a grown ass man too, but I handle my shit differently. You probably should shut the fuck up if you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That's all I'm saying. That's all I can say. That's all I can understand about it. There's different ways to approach a situation, but you not being a part of it just means that like you're just dumb as shit. You're stupid for fucking even step station and not having any facts, because you know who I am and you know what I will do. I will give you these facts. I will keep spitting facts at you. You want me to go find sources? I'll go find some sources. I even read my sources. You want me to do anything else? I got you. You want to learn some shit? There you go. But if you come to me with some stupid shit, I'm going to come back at you. So shut the fuck up and read. Read a book. I don't know. What should you do? Sit back, relax, and watch the conversation. Learn some shit. I learned some shit. It wasn't even that type of argument. It wasn't an argument. It wasn't even that. It was just us spitting facts back and forth and having the discussion about whether the Yankees are fucking cheaters or not, which has been seen to be true. Has been seen to be true. Why would a man in a fucking interview bring up devices and say that the biggest free agent that the Yankees picked up was a special advisor to the fucking team? Why would that be the biggest free agent? Just putting it out there. Why would I say that? Why would I say that? That's a whole interview. Why would I say that? Just putting it. I mean, it's just that. And then this scandal. Everybody's talking about, whoa, should they be taking away the title from the Astros? Why? Should they be taking away the title from the Yankees? Should they fucking be taking away titles from anybody that's had steroid users on their fucking team? Should they be doing that too? Sign stealing has been going on since 1800s. Since the 1800s. It's just more sophisticated now. It's just that we got more technology now. Who the fuck doesn't sign steal? Who in history hasn't done that? Why would I not try to take advantage of us trying to win a fucking baseball game if I don't have, I mean, what do you want me to do? You gonna have my guys going up there, hey man, look, I want you to guess a fastball. If you get the fastball, you get the fastball. But if you don't, I mean, you kind of fucked anyway. I mean, baseball is one of the hardest sports to play anyway. I feel like even if you steal a sign in baseball, you still fucking guess the location of the sign. You gotta, I'm sorry. The only thing you really guessed was the pitch. You might guess the location. If you get lucky, you might guess the location. But the location, I mean, pitchers are human, so they can miss the location. Like, it's like 7 out of 10 that they're going to hit that spot. And you still got to hit the fucking ball. Baseball, I will always say this. Baseball is the hardest sport to play. It is. You got a man on a mound standing above you, towering above you, throwing a ball possibly 99 to 100 miles per hour down a plate. And you have to stand in that box. You have to compartmentalize where that ball is going to go. And you also have to have fast hands. Sign stealing is stupid. It's a stupid rule. It's one of those stupid ass fucking baseball unwritten fucking rules as usual, because it's so fucking behind. It is so behind. They're just getting instant replay. This is why people don't watch it. This is why Mike Trout is not a bigger star than he should be. Bryce Harper's not a bigger star than he should be. Jose Altuve is probably a huge star in Houston, but outside of Houston, who really knows Jose Altuve? Alex Bregman. Who knows these people outside of the baseball circles? Nobody knows. Nobody. That's who. Sorry, that's what I'm going to throw it out there. Nobody. I love baseball. I'm a huge fan of baseball, but at the same time, there's a reason why if we put the 4 major sports in a fucking sequential order by popularity, baseball's probably fucking last. It probably dropped behind hockey. You can't sell me on baseball. There's a reason why. That's a problem. The only time baseball's been at its utmost popularity was steroid era. Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, Barry Bonds. Even though Barry Bonds was a Hall of Famer before the steroid allegations. Don't understand why he's not in there. Don't understand why Mark McGwire's not. Mark McGwire hit 600 home runs. Didn't he? 500, 600 home runs. Every person in Hall of Fame that's hit, anybody that's hit over 500 home runs in baseball are in the Hall of Fame, except for a few. Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, Barry Bonds. One of the greatest pitchers of all times is also not in the Hall of Fame, which is Roger Clemens, steroid user, and also Eddie Pettit. I don't think Eddie Pettit is not. Rafael Palmeiro was not. These are some of the greatest players in the game. Well, these are some of the greatest home run hitters in the game. Also, one of the greatest pitchers in the game. Also, one of the greatest playoff pitchers in the game. And he's not in the Hall of Fame. He took steroids. Back when, if you ask anyone, if you ask anybody, that the only reason why they were watching baseball was because 150 home runs was being hit by Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa. There was a chase between those two. Roger Clemens was throwing heat at 45 years old, was throwing 99 at like 50. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when baseball was popular. Now, was it cheating? Then we can say it's cheating. Yes, cool. It's cheating. That's cheating. All right, cool. That's cheating. But y'all profited off that cheating. MLB profited off of that. Jose Canseco, they profited off of that. They made probably billions in that time. Why are they not in the Hall of Fame? Gives a fuck. People are not in the Hall of Fame because, unwritten rules. He betted on the game, which yes. I mean, we still got the 1919 Black Sox not in the Hall of Fame. The only person really from the Black Sox that should be in the Hall of Fame is Shoeless Joe Jackson. And that was the main guy that they didn't think was cheating. That was the main guy. They were like, well, shoot. If you've seen Shoeless Joe Jackson's stats in the 1919 World Series, he shouldn't even be on the Black Sox then. He's not that guy. He wasn't that guy. So why the fuck is baseball punishing teams? If they take away the title from the Houston Astros, who's going to watch baseball anymore? You just lost a huge fan base in the Houston fan base. The Red Sox possibly will be getting hit with some shit. The Yankees will be next down the line because they're the next popular fucking team. We've heard the Red Sox. I've heard something about the Padres. Though that's a Red Sox. I'm sorry, White Sox. White Sox once again in the fucking cheating scandal. Who would have fucking known? I just don't understand it. It's just like, we get it. We understand. I mean, I understand that it's cheating in the eyes of, baseball people, but is it really cheating if I know what you're about to pitch? Don't change your signs. Why the fuck are you using the same signs? Change your signs. The fuck are we doing here? Easy money. Change the signs. You know what football has done? They got those little Johns with the 4 faces on them, or 4 pictures, 4 weird pictures. Why can't that be the signs? Evolve. Adapt or die. Adapt or die. Who said that? Fucking Brad Pitt. You have analytics now. You just got analytics. You really just got analytics. Sabermetrics and all the rest of that cool shit. You just got that. NFL and the NBA and even probably hockey has probably been doing that for like 20 years before baseball even caught up to that shit. Just putting it out there. Just like, first, don't throw stones at glass houses when your team literally is the one that's fucking around and doing the same shit. And also, get older. I mean, get younger. Baseball, get younger. Like Brendan Schaub will tell Brian Cowley, get younger. Get younger. Do shit. Catch up. Just catch up. Step up. Everybody else has automated shit. Why don't you? Just put it out there. All right. So, lastly, I want to talk about the NFL. The NFL playoffs. We are in championship mode. Congratulations right now to the Kansas City Chiefs for making it to the NFL 100 Super Bowl win. Good job. They won 35-24 against a very, very game Tennessee Titans team. Derrick Henry was running his ass off, and I really, really appreciate watching a running back do what he does in the playoffs. He got stronger throughout the year, which is amazing. So, congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs and Andy Reid. I'm so happy to see Andy Reid going to the playoffs. I mean, going to the Super Bowl one more time, man. I really hope that he can pull it off this time. That's the only hope. That's the only thing that warmed my heart is to see Andy Reid finally get that elusive Super Bowl. Because you know what's funny? Well, I'm sorry, not do you know what's funny, but you know what's crazy is that. Okay, yeah, it's the same score that I saw earlier. So the crazy thing about this is that his assistants, I think he's had two other assistants that have won Super Bowls. Doug Peterson and John Harbaugh have both won Super Bowls, and he hasn't gotten one yet. It's crazy to see. Also, it looks like the 49ers are about to close this bad boy up. They're up 37-20. They were beating the shit out of the fucking Packers. So it looks like we're going to have probably the number one defense, number one offense going at it in the Super Bowl. Literally, this happens almost every year where the top 5 defense and the top 5 offense are both going to go against each other in the playoffs. Right now, we got the Kansas City Chiefs and the 49ers. I'll be breaking that shit down next week. And I really do hope that, Andy Reid can pull it off. Also, congratulations should be going out to Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers. Raheem Mostert fucking murdered for real all year. The Achilles heel for the Packers was their run defense. And who was one of the top 5 best running teams in the league? San Francisco 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo will be in the Super Bowl. Tom Brady will not. Will Tom Brady be part of the New England Patriots next year? I'm seeing some shit where he's open to playing for another team. Also, I'm seeing some shit where Phillip Rivers has moved to fucking Florida. I don't know. He's moved to Florida, though. And they're making speculation about it, but it looks like Phillip Rivers will not be playing for the Los Angeles Chargers next year. Tom Brady going to the Chargers? Interesting. Phillip Rivers going to the Dolphins? Interesting. So the 49ers are 34 seconds away from going to the Super Bowl right now. I'll talk about off-season shit when the off-season happens. Next week we got the exhibition game / Pro Bowl, and then we have the Super Bowl the next week, which I fucking hate that shit. I don't like that. I think I'm the only one that's not a fan of that shit. Like, I'd rather have I'd rather have the Super Bowl. I'd rather have the Super Bowl participants be able to be playing in the Pro Bowl, but I guess we're not going to have that. We're not going to have Pat Mahomes, who looked fantastic today again. But I will break down the 49ers and the Chiefs next week. Congratulations to both teams. Congratulations to both coaches. But I really hope that Andy Reid can pull it off. Hey, Kyle Shanahan, run the ball in the second half. Just putting it out there. You remember. I remember. You remember. Patriots remember. Atlanta Falcons remember. We all remember. Run the ball in the second half if you're up. So with that, that is the sports for today. Sports Sports Sunday. So tomorrow I'll have movies and TV. Power came on this morning, so I'm going to be talking about that. Goodness gracious. I want to talk about the ending to Crisis on Infinite Earths, which ended on Tuesday. So I'm going to be talking about that. Last Tuesday. So I'm going to be talking about that and much more on the Cruising Podcast. So with that, I want to thank you guys so much for listening to Cruising Podcast. Also, if you guys get a chance, go check out Black Soul on Instagram, BLAXSEOUL. Hopefully I spelled that shit right. If I didn't, my bad. Check out Chili Got Soul. Hopefully having her on the show very soon to talk about their new website and their new business ventures and all the rest of that cool stuff. Yeah, go check out Black Souls on Instagram wherever you guys get a chance. And also go check out Cruising Podcast on Instagram, also at Nicetown Finest on Twitter for latest and greatest of the Cruising Podcast new episodes. And also go check out the Cruising Podcast if you ever get a chance. Or when you do get a chance, on Apple Podcasts, also on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and also Twitch. Check it out there. So with that, I want to tell you guys, don't do anything I want to do, and I'll catch you guys catch you guys tomorrow for the next edition of the Cruising Podcast. Thank you guys so much. Deuces.